Yes, the National Basketball League finals is already in sight. It starts off this Wednesday with game one of the men's contest between Namwong Blazers, who are the defending champions, taking on City Oilers in what is a repeat of last year's final, where Namwong Blazers went on to dethrone City Oilers, who had won this championship a record 10 times in a row. Then for the ladies, Jet Lady Jaguars will be waiting to see who comes off from the other semi-final. That is between UCU Lady Cannons and KCCA Leopards. That series, it's still 2-1 in favor of UCU Lady Cannons, but they have got to wait to finish off that semi-finals. But like I said, the men's final starts with game one this Wednesday. That is going to form part of our discussion on the inbound, and I've got to welcome you officially on Sports Nation Uganda TV, your usual host, Bran Kawalya. Today, my colleagues, Franklin Kaweru and Stella Nikuze, haven't been able to make it, but I've brought in a dangerous substitute in Felix Eupal. Felix, good to have you today on the show.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brian Kawalya, for hosting me on the inbound to discuss the FUBA finals. I like how you introduced me, a dangerous substitute. I don't know dangerous in what sense exactly, sir.
I'm going to be a role player, shooting threes.
Well, Coach Andrew Tendo needs many of the dangerous substitutes at the moment going into these finals, because when you look at the setup of the City Oilers coming into this final and the way that he has been rotating his squad, first of all, we have the headache of the selection itself. Who is going to be his first starting five, going by the squad that he has.
We shall reach there. We shall reach there. But maybe I want to first take you like back. Let us first reflect on the playoffs as they have so far unfolded. Which team has somehow disappointed you the most so far across both divisions, men and women?
Across the women, I would say Pearl Queens. I did not expect them to go down to the Magic Stormers. Yes, they didn't have a good regular season, but coming into the tail end of the regular season, they upped up their game. They brought in Jamila Nancy Kombi, and they actually changed their entire setup. When they brought on Coach Jeff Omondi to assist Angela Namidimu in the coaching department, you saw a few things being tweaked, the way they were playing defense, the way they were recovering. You'd see it in terms of their body language on the floor. You saw a bit of more organization. So up against the Magic Stormers, you really would expect that they would put up a very bigger fight, and then they would be able to go over the next step. But Magic Stormers came up with one simple play that they failed to beat. That is the full court press. And
they're very good at it, actually.
Yeah, for a coach at the level of Angela Namidimu and Jeff Omondi, you'd expect that you don't need actually to call a timeout when the opposing team is playing a full court press on you. Your players that you have on that floor should be able to actually know that you have to do a 1-2-2 and spread out. Come up and set the screen for the person bringing down the ball. And when the ball gets across, why don't you come up and play the box as you set the screen, then run out onto the arc? But they didn't create those options. Oftentimes, whenever the full court press was put on the Pearl Queens, they fumbled the ball. They constantly went into unnecessary turnovers, conceded baskets that were totally unavoidable. So for me, in the ladies, the Pearl Queens, they disappointed on my end.
Then in the men's division, the UCU Cannons being swept by Nam Blazers, or that was expected?
The UCU Cannons being swept by the Blazers was as expected. The Blazers are a totally different beast at the moment. When you look at every single department, the front court, the back court, the options that Stephen Eskodata Nyeko has at his disposal are tremendous, and he has people that come off the bench, and definitely all of them are contributing. We're speaking of Newton coming off the bench to contribute, Ivan Mowezi coming off the bench to contribute, Innocent Ochera. In one game, he came off the bench and had 21 points in 19 minutes. So this is a totally different Blazers side. They are hungry, they have tested road to ball, they want to be there again. They know that. So being swept, UCU Cannons being swept by Blazers, that one, in my view, was a given. was a total given.
But they didn't put up a proper contest, and the same cannot be said of the other semi-finals between Res Life Saints and City Oilers. Yes, City Oilers went on to sweep that one, but when you look at it into the details, all the three games, they are hugely contested, starting from game one. Then in game two, I feel Res Life Saints should have won it. They lost it in those last possessions where they didn't, in my opinion. They should have put the ball in Edwin Nekau's hands. Then in game three, we all remember that Res Life were up by 10 points at half time. I think they were leading, is it 38-28 around there?
Yeah.
And then that last possession in the fourth quarter just gave it
the last
away.
two possessions
Yes.
totally killed it.
Actually, they
killed it for the game.
yes, actually they turned over the ball in the closing seconds to allow Jermaine Ray back to lay up for
go
that
up and
winner.
make an easy two, which was the game sealer for that.
Mm.
So for the Res Life Saints, it is their first time at this stage. They've had a tremendous, wonderful season, a season that they have a lot to celebrate for, in my view. And yes, they went down to a 10-time champion. They would have done better. So I wouldn't call them call that a disappointment.
In a regular season where they beat both number one and number two, City Oilers and the Blazers.
Where they beat them, and they beat them convincingly. Yes, the score against the Blazers was a difference of 2 points, but going on to the entire 40 minutes, it was a contest where they were in charge. They were in the driving seat from the start of the game. They were in the driving seat. So you have to commend them for how much they've grown as a unit, and how much we anticipate to see of them next year, now that they've tested the semi-final and they know what it means to be there. So when you look at the semi-finalists, to answer your question, Brian, I believe none has disappointed. None has disappointed in the way that they have featured. The Cannons, the team that Nicolas Netoreza had, and the way he was able to assemble it. Remember, this is a Cannon side that reached the semi-finals, I would say, by sheer luck, determination, and grit, but sheer luck coming first. That comeback of 6 points, or was it 8
against
points?
Victoria Crocs?
Yes, 8 points, 1 minute, 42 seconds
Yes.
on the clock. I still remember I was actually wearing a Cannons jersey.
I remember very well.
With my name on it, and I had given up. I sat down and said, we have lost. And
Isn't that the same match where our good friend Alberta Hawe exchanged words with the other Blazers fans?
Yes, definitely, because well, emotions were not in control at that particular moment, as usually is expected in sport. But 1 minute 40 seconds on the clock, and this Cannon side, Daniel Mwanguzi, coming up to. In business, we have what we call a closer, the man that comes to finish the business when discussions are made, but you are not finally sealing the deal. He came up and he closed the
that
deal.
3-point set the tone for the comeback.
It changed
actually,
the momentum.
Yes.
It changed the belief. It actually sank the life out of the Victoria Crocs. You'd feel that this shot has taken their belief away, that we have this in control. And from there, it was turnover. Before we know it, it is a 2-point game.
Could they have contested better if they had Coach Nicolas Netoreza against Blazers, because he was away with our Gazelles 3-on-3 team at Commonwealth Games?
I believe it would have been a totally different contest. They wouldn't be losing. They lost the game by 27 points.
Yeah.
Then they came up and lost the other one by another double digit. I believe with Nicolas on that line, it would have been a different arrangement. They would have at least gone down by a margin which doesn't exceed 10 points. Yeah, they would have done a better job. And also, you have to consider the fact that their best player going through the entire season, Jimmy Otim, suffered an injury, and he had to play. When
that was in game one, actually.
Yes, when he was physically not well, you would see him limping. You'd see that he had a strapped leg. So that also was a very big blow to the Cannons.
Then we talk about Res Life Saints. Where do you see their future? They had a tremendous backcourt: Michael Tierney, Edwin Nekau, Chris Omanye, and of course the other players who came in, including Caleb. But then the front court, I feel that was part of their Achilles heel.
I believe when it comes to recruitment, I had a brief word with Moses Okwela, the coach of the Res Life Saints. He told me, Felix, we are cooking. We don't want to put any pressure on the boys. The boys have given us their best, and we appreciate that. Those were his words. And he said, We know where our issues are, and we need a solid, in his words, we need a solid big man, and we are working and seeing that. Now, I believe, going by his own explanation, solid big man.
Elite.
When you get,
We don't have many in the league, actually.
we don't have many in the league. If they're able to actually use their pass, and I believe they have a wallet that can do that for one player. They have totally shown all season long that they are very organized. They have been going out through games. It might be little things that fans we might take for granted, but it shows and goes a long way in terms of the organization. Them coming out to give those little cards of their fixtures,
the scripture, the
venues,
sweets, of course, as well.
The scripture and the sweets.
They recruited me already. Not that they are my neighbors, because me I stay in Namasova, which is a stone throw away.
Already devoted and converted.
Yes.
Because of the little things. So it shows organization-wise, they tick that box. In terms of preparation, they tick that box. In terms of morale, you've not seen. We've had so many stories of camps where players are saying, "Tebana tusasula, we are here, but even the transport refund is going to take long." You've not had such rumors or whispers when it comes to Res Life Sense at all. You have not. So it shows that they know what they're doing. They budget for it. They plan for it. If they get that big, solid, big man and are able to maintain their guards, we are looking at a team that is just going to be ready to contend for this NBA.
Yes, because we felt that they're just two players short of competing with the very best.
I believe two players is a lot. They are one player short of competing for the best. If they had a player and who was ready to set up those screens, be able to actually protect the rim much more, what you call an anchor man, to be able to do the donkey work, the dirty work for them, to set up those screens and have Edwin Ekau open on all those shots, and also to have Chris Omani get the shot when he has less defense on him, that he has not so many people to beat before he sends that assist. You'd have very many options for that side, and you'd see that Res Life team would have actually won a game, or to even pushed it to the limit.
And Felix, actually, I love the way they have managed to turn Gatete, Michael Tien. We all know his struggles in the past. Many teams have failed to have him.
That's it, that the Oilers failed to be able to get him in shape when he was struggling with dependency.
Warriors, the same story.
Warriors also went through down the same brain, but it comes down to even the individual. I'd first give credit to the individual himself, Michael Tien. I'm speaking of this because I'm a living example. I've struggled from alcoholism, I've struggled from addiction and dependency, and the first solution is yourself.
Yes.
Before you accept help from someone else, you first have to accept and surrender that you have a problem, that you need the assistance, that you have failed to beat your substance of choice.
Preach, sir.
So it starts from him. The first commandment and the first kudos and claps go to Michael Tien. He accepted that. He knew that he has a problem, and he has even given a very lengthy, very insightful interview on that. Then you go down to the administration of Res Life, being able to support him, being able to give him that assistance that he needs, and understanding that this is a good player and he actually has a disease, because addiction is a disease that most people actually do not know out there. It is a disease, and that is why it's supposed to be handled as such. That was handled, and you've seen what he has been able to do on the floor. I believe when City Oil Management look at him at the moment, they're like, I think we should give Otiene a call.
No, please don't do it. Don't do it. But Felix,
give Otiene a call to come back, because you've seen how he has been able to control the tempo of the games. The moments when the young squad seems afraid of getting that ball, seems afraid of turning over the ball. On the inbound, he's saying, give me that ball.
He's taking responsibility.
Take responsibility and own up to the moment. You see, there's taking responsibility, and then you fumble at that moment. Own up the moment and ensure that you get that ball down there. So he has been quite phenomenal. If they maintain that their core and they don't lose it, I know a number of teams are fighting for Edwin Ekau's signature. So many universities want him. Canons, UCU want him. Victoria University want him. So it's going to be quite a lengthy off-season for the young man to see where his decision is going to be. Hopefully he will stay with the Res Life. We do not know what
he has to repair them, actually.
Yeah, but
yes.
They've done a lot for him to get him to where he is. He got a national team calling for the Silverbacks, and now he's officially a Silverback. So that shows the determination, the hard work. Many thought that when he was down in the development league playing for Rhinos, that he will not be able to replicate what he was doing in the development league. And he has come down, he has come up, and he has shown them, I can still do this, and actually even better. So to the players out there, put in the work. This effort of only just going for practice doesn't get you what you want. When you go and work on your own self, take time, sacrifice, hard work, determination, know what you want, then you'll be. Edwin Ekau is a living example of that.
True. Felix, the finals. Namungo Blazers up against City Oilers. Many predicted that. Now we have it. But we start on Wednesday. Why the rush? We expect to have the finals start on the prime day. That is Friday.
I remember the moment FUBA put out the notice that we are starting on the 5th, which is Wednesday. Of course, the biggest outcry was, why aren't the games starting on Saturday? Well, I mean
Friday,
on Friday.
Yeah.
What is the rush for FUBA? What is that kind of thing? But it is clearly understandable. The reason as to why the games are starting on Wednesday is because FUBA has August 16th deadline to have had a FUBA champion, to be able to submit in a team name for the Basketball Africa League.
That's a small window, actually. True.
It is a very small window, and if you do the math, if the games are stretched to game 7, then we will be late. However, there is a window in BAL that allows you a 1 week extension, strictly 1 week. So the Federation and the National Basketball League Management Committee, who are in charge of all of this, have to ensure that the 7 games are done before August 16th, so that FUBA can be able to submit in a champion. So whoever is out there and wondering why are the games starting on Wednesday, why is it this early, it is because of that time frame that FUBA have to work under.
Then many of the fans out there, especially those of NAM Blazers, will know that maybe we can finish this a bit early. They don't see City Oilers stretching them up to game 7 or game 6 or game 5. They feel maybe their team, depending on what they have seen, can do the job a little bit early. Depending on what you've seen in the series, they might not bring out a clear picture, but at least you know what City Oilers had. They can no longer add anyone. We've seen Jonathan Komagum, we've seen Patrick Rembach, we've seen Jermaine Rayback, plus the crop that they have had in the regular season. Were they convincing enough to reclaim the title that they lost to Blazers last season?
Brian, I'll start this by reminding you one of the memes of last season. Many time, and they have kept on reminding us often whenever you come for the games about Waba sweeping because it was 4-2. Oilers winning the first 2 games.
Then they came and won 4 in a row.
4 in a row. So they, according to them, the 4 in a row should be considered a sweep.
4-1 is a gentleman's sweep. I don't know what this one should be called.
But when I look at this Oilers side and I compare with the Namungo side that they are up against for the second time in a row in the finals, I believe Namungo should only drop 1 game. Or if not, should actually just seal this series off 4-0.
What?
That is, and I stand.
You will be surprised if City Oilers win 2 games in this series.
I would be very surprised. I would actually commend Andrew Tendo a lot if his team can pull off 2 games against this Namungo side. When you look at the setup of Stephen Nyeko, the head coach of Blazers, he has a player in every single department that can actually be able to come and hurt you. He has the ability of rotating 12 of his players. Now, when you look at Andrew Ten, head coach of the City Oilers, he doesn't have that luxury. Already we've seen Downer Rogers. He has just been what you'd call a filler on the team. He's struggling with injuries and all of that, and he has not been featured. We have Alwi Senkubuge. We have not seen him in these semi-finals. Yes, he had ample time during the regular season, but now the tables have turned. It's a different ball game. It's the playoffs.
We'll be very lucky to suit up actually most games.
There will be very little margin for error. So you have to consider that as well. So he has at most a rotation of 8 players, 8 key players that you have to ensure stay disciplined. The last game 3 against the Blazers, you saw Bale Fayed was on 4 fouls. Joe Lokoji was on 4 fouls. Remember the confusion of who should take the foul when Joe Lokoji fouled, because he knew that he was on 4 fouls and was going to be eliminated. So he is trading a thin and delicate rotation. That is one. And then we have not seen Landry Ndukumana be the Landry Dukumana that we saw as he won regular season and playoff MVP
Before he left
back in
for Burundi.
2019. We have not seen that. Yes, he struggled a bit with injury as well in the regular season. He was given time to recover. Whether he recovered fully is a question yet to be answered. But he have not been the Landry that we know, the Landry that is always hurting you endlessly under the basket there, the Landry that is always picking up those rebounds when you least expect and dishing that assist. He has not been the silent killer on the commander that we know. That is one. Titus Luwal has not been at his best as we know Titus. Titus has he's not cleaning up the boards that often as he has been, and also being as lethal as he is on the offense. He will grab you a 3 or 2, but then after that he will go silent.
Actually, he hasn't returned to his normal base since that injury.
So in terms,
from last season.
Yeah, in terms of offensive output for Titus Luwal, we have not seen that. Will he change the gears when the finals begin? We are waiting to see if that is the case going to be on Wednesday. But you don't expect that because he has not been giving it to us.
Then Felix,
so those are three actually crucial points. The rotation issue, Landry Ndukumana, Titus Luwal. So you see that when you compare it with the Namuwongo setup, you have a James Okero down there. You have Chukua down there.
Anthony Chukura.
Anthony Chukua down there, muscling you up, protecting the rim, right? You have Oxy boxing out and working his body mostly on the defense. You have Nyembo himself providing the firepower. Any single time you make that mistake, he'll be there. He'll grab the rebound. He can do a coast-to-coast dribble. He'll score new ones, but wherever you give him that small gap. So you have a full-time job of trying to stop him. You have Wanyoto coming in and giving you those perimeter shots inside. So it becomes a whole case of a lot of trouble. Remember, Jimmy Enabo has not featured in this semi-final. He has been rested because he had a small knock, and he has been rested so that he can be fully fit and healthy for the finals.
And we know he always pick his moments.
Jimmy, he has no.
There is one game
he has no.
I will be sure that he will for them.
Do in the game of basketball, he doesn't need a big moment because he's big enough for the moment. He has been big enough. He has proven that over a course of 10 years plus. So
Felix,
he will stand up and he will change the momentum.
Felix, before we dive deep into Blazers and their roster, let's first finish off with the City Oilers. In that game 3 where they managed to seal off that sweep against the Res Life Saints, they missed Patrick Rembert.
Yes, they missed Patrick.
What's the update with him?
The update right now, the team has yet to put out an official statement.
Why did he miss?
He missed that game because he suffered food poisoning.
Wow.
That is according to the assistant coach Mugisha. He suffered food poisoning that day, and he had issues, so he had to be taken to get medication. Hopefully, he would be ready for the final. You know, everyone's body reacts differently.
Jackie yamugulidde Rolex. Omwana oyo Jackie.
Omusajja bamulisa Rolex yawano. He could have tried our traditional commando. For those watching out there, commando, a mixture of beans and chapati. He could have tried out it's a delicacy. I love it very much. So I do not know, but he struggled with that. And you would say that it leaves quite a task. I'm really actually very eager to see that matchup. Tony Dweliba up against Rembert. How
fit is Fayed Bale? Because I saw him struggle as if he's injured, as if he's carrying an injury.
Fayed Bale got a knock, and he tried to massage his leg.
He sat out in those closing minutes.
He sat out the closing minutes, but I doubt that it should be something that should create any scare for the Oilers fans. I believe Bale would be up and ready and running for Wednesday. That shouldn't be, in my view, it shouldn't be something of a concern to them.
You step into Andrew Tendo's shoes and then draft for me the ideal starting 5 in your opinion.
Ideal starting 5 for the Oilers, in my view, would be definitely Rembert on 1.
Patrick Rembert.
Yes, I would have Fayed Bale on 2. I would have Landry Dukumana on 3. Yes. Going by
Felix.
I'm trying to look at the opponent as well. Compare how you should start your squad. And then I'd go with Kahira.
On 4.
Yes, on
He
4,
came out
because
big in that last
he
game.
came out big, and you'd see his momentum, his
Scored a
desire.
double. Yeah.
Coming up with double points there. So definitely that performance, in my view, gives him a starting 5 in my selection. Who would I go with the 5? Statistics are very deceptive thing. What you see on the floor and what the stat sheet says. So going by the stat sheet, 11 points, number
And
of
as many rebounds.
as many rebounds as he could,
And about 6 assists.
Yeah, and
You're talking
6
Jonathan Komagu,
Then
actually.
definitely know who I'm talking about. When I
Yes.
say that statistics are a very deceptive.
Statistics are like a bikini.
Yes, they're a very deceptive concept in life, because a goalkeeper in a game can finish with 100% pass accuracy when he has been giving back passes.
True.
So statistics will show pass accuracy is 100%. So number 5, I'd go with Jonathan Komangun. That would be my starting 5 if for Tendo, according to the squad that he has, with Joel Okoji coming off the bench to give a breather in the number 1 position. Then
Your 6th man.
Yeah. Then of course we have Jermaine also coming off the bench to be sure that you maintain the momentum of the game. He just doesn't come off to give another player rest.
He comes off the bench, but we'll be very sure that he'll be commanding minutes.
Yeah, command minutes and also maintain the momentum of the game. He has to continue putting the opposition on constant tenterhooks, attacking that hoop, getting that shot down whenever he gets a chance. We have seen he can shoot the ball outside the arc, he can drive in, he can assist, and he also gives you a fair share of very good defense options.
Him and Rembert will determine Oilers' selling in this final.
They all determine, but then also their rotation is key. Remember last season, part of the undoings of the Oilers was overplaying Chad Ball. The minutes that they got on the floor, by the time they get to game 3, game 4, physically, you would
they
see
were
that
worn
their
out.
bodies were worn out. So how you rotate them to ensure that you are planning for 7 games is very key. Because in games where you know that you have taken a 10-point lead, you have to bite the nail and say, do I have the players on the bench that can actually contain this? Because you know that you will need him for a second game. When you want to close out a game, how are you working him to ensure that he has enough in his tank? Remember, there's no room for rest. We play on Wednesday, game 1. Game 2 is on Friday. Game 3 is on Sunday. So you have very little time for your body and also mentally to recover. Many people forget the mental aspect of this, but it is very crucial. How you bounce back mentally determines a lot, because after the game, the following day after a rest, you have to watch video. You have to go back and review. You have to shoot a bit. So are you ready for that mentally? Because you have other things that you're thinking about and what. So has that department been worked on? That is going to be very key in ensuring that you get this. However, on the other hand, you shouldn't also take it for granted. Sometimes having too many options is also a problem, because that is a situation that Skodata has at his hand.
He might forget some players.
Yeah, because the
yes,
game
when he starts the rotation.
We're in the 4th quarter and there's a player that hasn't stepped on the floor, and yet that player has been giving you 100%. You know, so you look at the bench like this, you say Wanuto, and you haven't filled the team.
Let's talk about Jonathan Komagu, because many fans out there held him in high regard when Oilers added him, because we've seen him with the national team.
By the time you add on the number 5 of the Silverbacks, we expect a lot.
Yes, but we've seen him he's struggling on the line, and ideally, this is not a secret. He's limited in terms of skill set.
Skill set wise, he's very limited. At the one very.
Yes. But how should Andre Tendo use him so that he can get the best out of him?
One, he has something that coaches cannot train in players. Belief. He knows I can do this. He knows I'm better than these players. That alone is the first tick for me. However, how can you best get him to do that? You need to ensure that his matchup is not someone that can body him out. Because if he's out there and you expect that he's going to be pounding on Chukua, then you have...
And Blazers are going to have him for dinner, surely.
Yes. You saw what happened regular season. Namuongo Blazers, City Oil. Jonathan Kamungu finished with 0 points. If you recall very well,
Yes.
he had 0 points. Or he didn't have a point on the board because they muscled him out. They bodied him up inside there. They made the paint uncomfortable for him as much as possible. Then it came to the crowd. Oh, they added the cherry on the cake. Every single fumble, every single turnover was being celebrated, which got to his head. Now, a player at his caliber, that is background noise. As all the fans will shout and do it. That is what we're supposed to do.
They are going to get into his head.
Yes,
that
we are
you
fans.
have
That
to
is
be
what they're
sure about
supposed to
it.
do.
Yes.
So block that out. I'd expect that from a different player, not at a player who has played basketball at his level.
Yes, at the top level.
Yeah, you'd expect let the talking be on the floor. But when you start getting one basket and then you're turning to the fans, scoring and assuring them, no. It means you're going to miss a point, or you're going to fail to play team basketball and pass that ball to your teammate who has an easy basket to score because you want to make a celebration to the opposing fans. No. So get him someone that match up the person that is playing defense on him, right? Then get him open as possible so that he can attempt many times when he's inside that paint. Because we've seen that one other thing, he's not always quick when they're in the transition. He's not quick enough to be there when, let's say, the other team has failed to score an offensive attempt. By the time Oilers get the ball and they're transiting back to score, he has not yet reached. So his transition and recovery time in terms of transition play has to be upped up.
Then let us talk about Namongo Blazers. They're going to miss out on Nyemek Lionel, the other Cameroonian big man. They have not had him in the playoffs. I think he played about 1 to 2 games, including his debut at Nachivubo. Are they going to miss him? Do they need him actually with the kind of quality they have in that depth?
Going by the regular season performance and how they have played in the postseason, quarterfinals, semi-final, I believe they can do without him. What is that he will be available for the finals. I understand he lost a close family relative and has been away for that session. So for the burial and everything, according to culture and tradition. But what is that he will be around? Hopefully he is. We have not yet gotten any word.
I was speaking with Coach Esco and he told me that he's not yet back.
He's not yet back.
So for Wednesday, he's not around. Maybe Jets in like on match day.
They might be keeping him as a surprise package. The man might jet in on Wednesday morning, and after the warm up behind there on the hockey grounds, you see him rolling out.
Citoyenas will be shocked.
Yeah, you'll be shocked because the man is fully registered. He's ready to play, and that would be a very big blow to Andrew Tendo and how he's going to.
I hope now Blazers are not playing those dark arts. Please don't.
It is not a dark art because it is a competition.
It's their player actually.
Yes, it's their player. It is war. So you can't put out all your cards. You have to hold some cards to your chest.
True.
It's a very good tactic. Hold some cards to your chest as you go out. So to me, it would be a very big blow because in terms of rotation and in terms of the size that would be there, the wingspan alone, when they set up a proper zone defense, it would, unless that shot is dropping,
having him will be like taking.
You'd have no option to enter that paint. It would be quite hard.
Let's try to pick the best five. Starting five for the Blazers.
For Steven Nyeko.
Escodata.
Starting five.
Many fans never saw him play actually. Many Blazers fans never saw him play.
Never saw him play.
When he was pointing, at least listen to focus.
He delivered the championship for them. That alone should answer most of their questions. Yeah. So, number one, I'll definitely go with Tony Bellew playing in that number one position. Number two, it's a tricky one. I'd go for Tembo.
Tembo Kasereka
in the number two position.
No backcourt slot for Innocent Ochela. I think in my view, he has been very impressive.
Would come off the bench because, like I mentioned, you need a player that maintains momentum. Innocent Ochela is that type of player. 19 minutes off the bench, 21 points. The Cannons did not really see what was hitting them in that semi-final game too. They did not realize who is this that is notching down open shot over open shot. So he's that type of player, very quick on his feet, very decisive. When he gets that ball and he sees that hoop, he knows either I'm up there or I'm fouled. It's one of those two options.
Know what.
I'd get him off the bench. So those are two. We have 3 to go. In the number 3 position, the number 3 position, I would have Tembo.
You put Tembo
Fataki.
into. Yeah. Fatachi, yeah.
Fataki number 3. Versatile. He has proven season long what he can do. He's a man that needs no introduction to any local basketball fan or to the players on how much.
In my opinion,
he
the
can
most
achieve.
gifted player we have in the league.
Yeah. He will dribble you on the left, he will dribble you on the right. He's fast, he's agile, he has the power, he's good on offense. He will give you that energy back when you need him back on offense. He's not a player who we have seen get into funny alterations with refs. If they make a call, if it is bad or what, he knows the call is not going to be reversed. So go back and play. So that alone, the discipline, also it gives him a good tick. So I'd give him a number 3 position.
Nyembo Fatachi.
Yeah, in the number 4. I'd give it to James Okello. James Okello, for his physicality.
Still.
Yeah, for his physicality. He has been consistent. And he still is. And also his ability to understand and interpret the plays. And also to know what the opponent. He has that ability to know. You hear him often on the floor. I can take him on. Also, it gets to the other opposing player because they want to prove him wrong. And he goes on and plays good defense. So, number 4 position, I'll give it to James Okello. Number 5, definitely, my number 5 position, I'll give it to Chukwu.
Anthony Chukwu, the Nigerian.
Yes, the Nigerian. That will be my starting 5. When I see going by how they are, because you have it balanced in terms of the backcourt. Then in terms of the front court, you have options. And mostly for the front court, you have enough people who are sure that are going to play defense and are calm enough. So when you look at the bench, you have Jimmy Enapo there on the bench, you have Innocent Oche on the bench, you have Ivan Muhezi on the bench, you have Wanyoto on the bench. You have quite explosive power on the bench. I'm missing out actually someone, very important player who comes on and does a lot of damage.
Who's that? Peter O'Blaine.
Yes. You have
Blazers are spoiled for choice.
You have a bench that comes on and is fireworks. Definitely. So when you look at those options, I believe that is why I'm certain that it would.
We won't even talk about the likes of Ivan Moes or Jesus Christ.
Yes. That is why you say that Escodata has the luxury of forgetting a player on his 12-man list.
Where can they lose it?
Where can they lose it? One is thinking that the refs are going to be their friends. That is something that they have to get out of their heads, or thinking that we are going to see any call that is. Actually, at the moment, I think a fan who is surprised that our referees are making jaw-dropping, glaring calls. I think hasn't watched basketball enough, because we saw what happened in Game 3 of City Oil versus Res Life.
The VAR
wanting to go to review on the phone whether it was a goaltend or not. FUBA has never done that. We don't have the technical ability.
We won't forget
the resources to do
Edwin,
that.
actually.
So when you come up and you do and make such a call and you say we are reviewing, totally ridiculous, uncalled for. So those are things that fans shouldn't expect at the finals. And there are many people who all season long do not watch the game of basketball.
True.
And travel from various places. I have friends who are coming all the way from Ginger. They work in Ginger, but they're making the trip here on Wednesday.
To watch the final.
Because they want to watch the final. So to the refs, this is a call for impartiality, to respect the badges and the jersey of a FUBA referee. Let us have the right calls. We've seen so many travel violations which have not been called. We've seen so many times there's hacking inside the paint and the referee says there's no foul, game will go on. So all of those things. We've seen benches get technicals for reaction. How are they supposed to? What are they supposed to do when a terrible call goes against them? So a call out to the referees association. These are the finals. This is the moment that the fans live for. Teams have invested a lot, and please, it is your obligation to actually go out there and do your job in an honorable, professional manner.
All right, that's enough. For anyone who was watching for the very first time, please kindly subscribe, like, comment. And if you are just seeing these short videos that I normally share on TikTok or on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram, please go and watch the whole show on Sports Nation Uganda YouTube. This has been The Inbound, your usual host, Brian Kawalya, and a big thank you to Felix Eupal.
Thank you, sir.
Be a change.